First, though, to that breaking news in St. Joseph County this afternoon. Investigators are giving some new information out on the investigation into Jodi Parrack's death back in 2007. We do want to go live to the St. Joseph County Courthouse in Centerville. Press conference still just about to get underway. We know that 24 Hour News 8's Evan Dean is in Centerville this afternoon for us. Evan, do you hear us?
Just so I know what's going on.
It's cutting in and out.
It's what?
Yeah, good evening, guys. Yeah, you can see here, we're just about to get underway. Before we do get to the prosecutor and Michigan State Police, I want to give you a little bit of background on this press conference being held in St. Joseph County regarding the Jodi Parrack murder investigation. We expect MSP and the prosecutor's office to make some sort of announcement. What that is, we don't know right now, but you may recall the body of 11-year-old Jodi Parrack was discovered by her mother in the Constantine Township Cemetery. That was back in November of 2007. That's nearly 8 years ago to this day. She had been strangled. No one had ever been charged in her murder and still hasn't been. But last year, Raymond McCann, a person of interest, was arrested for lying during the investigation into Parrack's death. He had taken a plea deal and was sentenced to 20 months in prison this past March. We also want to share with you that the MSP cold case team took on the case back in 2011. They went and revisited this case and re-interviewed several witnesses in this case, and it appears as if we are going to be getting that announcement. Let's listen in here.
Okay, again, we are awaiting the start of a press conference in St. Joseph County. Police there, authorities are holding this conference in regards to the Jodi Parrack death investigation.
Okay, guys,
let's listen in now. They're ready.
Hopefully we can get out of here in short order tonight. First, I want to introduce who's here in attendance. Obviously, if you don't know me, I'm St. Joseph County Prosecutor John McDonough. We have former Constantine Police Chief Jim Bedell here. He was also a former state police detective. Officer Mike Klein, who played an integral role in this investigation as it worked through the process. Chief Assistant Prosecutor Aaron Harrington. We have Jodi Parrack's mother is here. Kitty Buckner, the captain from the Sheriff's Department, she's here on behalf of the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Department. Chief Mark Honeysett from the Constantine Police Department. Lieutenant Chuck Christensen from the Michigan State Police. Detective Sergeant Shane Krieger from the Michigan State Police. Sergeant Jeremiah Carlisle from the Michigan State Police. And Trooper John Moore from the Michigan State Police. This has been a long time coming. This is an ongoing investigation. First and foremost, I will just get to the point. Today, Daniel Kevin Furlong was arrested and charged with 4 counts in the homicide of Jodi Parrack. Count 1 is open murder. Count 2 is kidnapping. Count 3 is felony murder. And count 4 is criminal sexual conduct in the 2nd degree. For the reporters here, copies of the complaint will be available, so you don't need to write all of that stuff down. This has been an exhaustive process, obviously almost 8 years in the making, and I cannot thank all of the officers involved more than, it's just an unbelievable effort. And I can say almost every agency in this county has put in their part. And great thanks go out to the Constantine Police Department, Chief Bedell and Chief Honeysett especially, as well as Officer Klein, and the Michigan State Police, who invested years with their cold case team looking into the death. This is a great day. We're very, very excited. We're happy to move forward. A little bit of information that I can share with you before I open it up to some questions is that the arrest came about after a DNA swab was taken following Mr. Furlong's arrest for his current charges. The DNA tested and was a match to the DNA found on Jodi Parrack's clothing and body the night of her homicide. We know that Mr. Furlong lived in the area that Jodi was traveling that evening, and he certainly had opportunity to commit this homicide. Special thanks especially need to go out to the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, who have done an unbelievable amount of tests for us, especially Ann Hunt, who's a civilian forensic scientist who's done DNA after DNA after DNA after DNA in this case. And she fast-tracked the one that we just currently got through the system. And thankfully for everyone here in this room, Mr. Furlong was the person who that DNA belonged to, and we will move forward with the criminal process today. I can tell you that he has been arraigned. His bond was denied, and that his preliminary examination conference is scheduled for September 22nd. His preliminary examination will be September the 29th. At this point, I will entertain a few questions. If you have questions specifically for the state police, Lieutenant Christensen will answer them. Obviously, there's some stuff we may not be able to answer tonight, guys, but I can tell you the investigation is ongoing. This has been a big development just in the last couple of days. I was notified yesterday evening, and I can't tell you, after everything that's happened here recently, how big of a smile I had on my face. My wife can certainly tell you that things have been stressful at our house, and last night I was tremendously excited. I hope, this brings some closure to Jodi's family. I'm grateful that her mother is here tonight. I had the opportunity to speak to her prior to this and talk to her a little bit about stuff. She will not be available to the media following this. I'm asking respectfully that you guys allow her to digest everything that has gone on in the last few days and not bother her. Certainly if she starts becoming pestered by things that I'm going to get involved, and I'll start speaking to you guys about that. But I can tell you she's comforted in the fact that Mr. Furlong is in jail, and she's happy that we're starting the process, and hopefully soon we will have closure for her and all the rest of Jodi's family and friends. It's been a long, long, long time. 8 years of hard work. I can remember the night that this happened, and from the day I took office the first time, this has been one of the most important cases on our radar, and everybody has just worked so very, very hard to make sure that today happened, to make sure that justice is going to be served. And the people behind me, the people over here, deserve absolutely all of the credit for this. I've never worked with a group of individuals who have worked harder on a case. They did everything. They searched under every single possible rock. They went above and beyond everything they possibly could do. They were dedicated to finding out who murdered this young girl, and today is a great day. So with that, I will entertain questions. Briefly, if you have questions for the state police, Lieutenant Christensen may or may not be able to answer them.
How did the prior arrest of Ray McCann factor into all of this? Did it help you guys get to this point?
Ray McCann's prior arrest was for perjury, and that was for him lying during our investigative subpoena. It did not factor into us coming to this at all. I can tell you the young child who was able to escape Mr. Furlong a couple of weeks ago and was the source of our arrest, she's the one that led to this. Her DNA led to this. The hard work of all the police officers, were the cause of this. Ray McCann, at this point, we're still...
You have been listening to a live news conference with St. Joseph County Prosecutor McDonough. He's been talking about an arrest that's been made in the Jodi Parrack murder in Constantine. Back in 2007, her body was found in a cemetery. Kevin Furlong was arrested and charged in the death of Jodi.
Here's what we know about Furlong, and I'm quoting from an article out of White Pigeon about a month ago. He's a 65-year-old White Pigeon man. He was just accused of unlawful imprisonment and felonious assault on a 10-year-old girl. He tried to lure the girl into his garage, actually got her in the garage, told her to be quiet, grabbed a knife. She got away. Those were the initial charges that they were able to take this DNA swab from.
That's right.
That DNA matched up to the Parrack case 8 years later.
That is what happened. They took the DNA swab from that. They were able to match it to the Jodi Parrack case, and that's how they made their arrest. He lived in the area at the time of Jodi's death. Apparently, he will be arraigned on September 22nd. We will, of course, continue to follow this case and tell you more about what went on and learn more as we do it. Of course, we've been following this case since that tragic night, November 2007. That's when Jodi Parrack's body was found in that cemetery in Constantine. The case, it remained a mystery for many years. In 2011, the state police cold case team started investigating the case. 4 full-time investigators were assigned to the case, and they went back and talked to so many witnesses in the case. Now, 24-hour News 8/7 Dean is in Centerville right now. We just heard from him. He's working to get reaction to the news that we just learned. He's in that news conference right now. He will have more updates throughout the 5 and 6 o'clock for us, as well as woodtv.com.